The ritual began every night without fail, as constant as the moon rising over the sleepy town of Maple Creek. Young Liam, nestled beneath his quilt patterned with rockets and stars, would wait, his eyes, heavy with the day's adventures, would flutter shut only to snap open again until the moment arrived. Then, the soft click of his bedroom door, the gentle pad of footsteps across the rug, and the faint scent of lavender soap would announce her presence. She would sit on the edge of his bed, her silhouette a comforting shadow in the dim night light. A soft sigh would escape her lips, a sound that meant safety. Before her cool, smooth palm would rest gently upon his forehead. It wasn't merely a touch, it was a benediction, a silent transfer of peace that seeped into his bones, smoothing away the invisible wrinkles of childish worries about monsters under the bed or forgotten homework. In that quiet connection, the world outside ceased its clamor, replaced by an unshakable certainty that all was well. One harsh winter, when Liam was 8, a fierce fever gripped him. His small body burned like an ember beneath the sheets. Racked by chills that made his teeth chatter uncontrollably, the world dissolved into a confusing haze of aches and unsettling dreams. Medicine brought little relief, and the darkness of his room felt oppressive, filled with strange, shifting shadows. Then, through the fog of his discomfort, he felt at her hand, cooler than usual, perhaps dipped in water, pressed softly against his burning brow. She didn't speak, simply sat vigil in the gloom. Her thumb traced slow, soothing circles on his temple, a silent lullaby against the pounding in his head. The simple pressure, the unwavering presence beside him, became his anchor. It didn't banish the fever instantly, but it dissolved the terrifying loneliness of being sick. Her touch whispered that she was there, fighting the unseen battle with him, and that knowledge was a balm stronger than any syrup. Years flowed by, carrying Liam from childhood scrapes to the turbulent seas of adolescence. The first day of high school loomed like a storm cloud, a maelstrom of anxieties about new faces, complex schedules, and the desperate need to belong. That night, sleep was a distant shore he couldn't reach. He lay rigid, staring at the ceiling, his mind racing with imagined humiliations. The familiar creak of the floorboard outside his door was a lifeline. His mother entered, sensing the storm within him without a word needing to be spoken. She sat, the bed dipping slightly under her weight, and her hand, still possessing that unique ability to calm, settled onto his forehead. Her touch now bridged the gap between the little boy he'd been and the young man he was becoming. The silent message was clear. Courage wasn't the absence of fear, but moving forward despite it. Her steady palm smoothed the frantic edges of his thoughts, replacing chaotic fears with a quiet resilience, allowing a deep, restorative sleep to finally claim him. Heartbreak arrived with the cruel abruptness of a summer thunderstorm during his 16th year. The girl he thought understood him, the one he'd shared countless secrets and dreams with, had simply walked away. The pain was a physical weight crushing his chest, making it hard to breathe. He retreated to his room, the familiar space feeling alien and hollow, echoing the emptiness inside him. He didn't cry, just sat slumped on his bed, staring blankly at the wall, feeling utterly adrift. The door opened softly. She didn't offer platitudes or empty reassurances about other fish in the sea. She simply sat beside him, a solid, warm presence in the chilling void of his disappointment. Then, her hand, a gesture unchanged since his earliest memories, came to rest on his forehead. It wasn't fixing the unfixable, it was acknowledging his pain, holding space for his shattered feelings. Her touch said, "I am here, this hurts, but you are not alone in it." The simple, profound comfort of that connection began to mend the raw edges of his young heart. Time, relentless in its flow, carried Liam far from the maple-lined streets of his childhood. He built a life in the bustling city, filled with career demands, adult responsibilities, and the complex dance of independence. Yet, Even amidst the skyscrapers and the constant hum of urban life, echoes of that simple comfort remained during times of intense stress, facing a daunting presentation or navigating a personal dilemma. He would sometimes find himself unconsciously raising his own hand to his forehead, seeking a ghost of that childhood solace. It was a reflex, a deeply ingrained pathway back to a feeling of absolute security. He realized the power wasn't solely in the physical touch, though that was irreplaceable, but in the unconditional love and unwavering sanctuary it represented. A sanctuary that had traveled with him, embedded in his very being, a quiet strength he carried within. Now a father himself, standing in the softly lit doorway of his young daughter Alara's room, Liam understood the ritual from a new perspective. He watched her small form beneath her unicorn blanket, her breathing just settling into the rhythm of sleep after a minor scare. A nightmare about a noisy thunderstorm, the echo of her frightened whimpers still hung in the air. He moved silently across the room, the memory of his own mother's nightly visits vivid in his mind. He sat gently on the edge of Alara's bed, the springs whispering. Softly her eyes fluttered open, wide and trusting in the dimness. Without a word, needing none, he reached out his hand, larger now, roughened by work and time, settled with deliberate tenderness onto her small, warm forehead. He felt the slight tension ease beneath his palm. Almost instantly, he saw her eyes soften, her tiny body relax deeper into the mattress, a sigh escaping her lips that mirrored his own long ago. Relief. The circle was complete. The profound simplicity of that gesture, passed down through the silent language of love, resonated deeply within him. It was more than just a comforting touch. It was a covenant, a promise whispered across generations without a single syllable uttered, a promise of presence in the face of fear, of unwavering support through fevered nights and stormy adolescent hearts, of quiet strength offered when the world felt overwhelming. It was a testament to the enduring power of a mother's love, a power so potent it could be distilled into the gentle pressure of a hand on a forehead, radiating safety and peace that could soothe a child's nightmare, calm a teenager's storm, fortify an adult's weary spirit, and now guide a new generation into the reassurance of sweet, untroubled dreams. The room was quiet, filled only with the sound of Alara's peaceful breathing, a living testament to the timeless, wordless comfort of that sacred touch.